Greetings, seekers of the macabre. I am Professor Dreadmore, and in my pursuit of uncanny truths, I've unearthed a tale both chilling and intense. Through the lens of technology's unchecked power, discover a world where reflections reveal more than mere appearances. Prepare to step into an unsettling realm where fate and fear intertwine. My name is Mark. I live alone in a city that never really sleeps. It's a noisy place, with trains rumbling through the night and neon lights flickering. I've grown used to it. I work all day and spend the nights in my small apartment, keeping busy with my workouts. It helps me unwind, keeps my mind from wandering. And that's where the mirror came in. It wasn't just any mirror. It was an advanced fitness mirror, all smooth glass and smart technology. They said it could track your exercises, suggest improvements, monitor your heart rate. Tempted by its promise of precision, I decided to pick one up. I thought it could motivate me, push me further in my fitness journey. Little did I know, it had other plans. At first, the mirror seemed like a marvel. I'd stand in front of it, ready for another grueling session. It recognized me instantly, capturing every movement, every heartbeat. The workout programs were tough, but rewarding. I felt stronger, more alive. Everything felt fine, until one evening, something changed. I was there standing as usual, waiting for the session to start, when I noticed something strange in my reflection. My face, it looked older. I leaned in closer. Wrinkles creased the corners of my eyes, and my hair had streaks of grey. I told myself it was a trick of the light, rubbing my eyes to clear the imagined illusion. But when I looked again, it remained. Laughter lines that hadn't been there before, a weary look in my eyes. Dismissing it, I worked out harder that day, forcing myself through each set. But after each session, the face staring back was different, older, haggard. As the days passed, it worsened. Sometimes I saw cuts, bruises, fresh like they had just happened. My heart would race, pounding as if it wanted to break free. The image in the mirror haunted me. I found it hard to look at myself, yet I couldn't stop. I needed to understand what was happening. The more I used the fitness mirror, the stranger the visions became. It was as if the mirror carried a message, a warning about challenges unknown to me. And even though the sight was frightening, I was drawn to it, searching for an answer, a reason. A week later, I saw something new. The old man's reflection no longer just stood still. It mimicked my movements with a delay, then it would stop abruptly, gasping for air, clutching its chest as if in pain before collapsing. I recoiled, breathless, feeling a chill run down my spine. My skin was clammy, my breath shallow. Still, I wasn't sure whether to trust what I saw. Was this the future? A grotesque parody? Anxiety gnawed at me, yet curiosity kept me going. I had to know more. I had to find out what was lurking behind the mirror, what lay ahead if I failed to heed its warning. My heart beat in my ears. I spent hours on the internet, searching through forums, articles, anything about mirrors and technology. Someone had to have seen odd reflections before, but nothing useful turned up. No similar accounts. It was starting to feel like the mirror had singled me out. Frustrated, I decided to look at the app linked to the mirror. The interface seemed normal at first, just exercises and metrics. But I noticed something strange. A pattern, a series of numbers hidden away. I zoomed in, squinted at the string of code, unfamiliar, yet oddly intentional. My pulse quickened. Was this a message? With a growing sense of urgency, I cracked open my laptop. Hours slipped by as I tried to decipher the code, each keystroke echoing in the silence of my apartment. Then, like a key fitting into a lock, the code made sense. It wasn't just a pattern, but a directive, a series of tasks I had to complete. Unease spread through me like ice. The tasks were strange. In the text, they seemed mundane, but something about them made my skin crawl. Run 5 miles in under 30 minutes. That didn't seem too bad. Swim in the city pond at midnight. My stomach churned. The pond was rumored to be filthy. Climb the abandoned clock tower. I hesitated. The clock tower had stood silent for years, off limits to anyone. Yet, I read the last line and knew I had no choice. Failure to complete will result in... The sentence trailed off, but I knew the consequence. I could see it every time I faced the mirror. I had to act quickly. That night, I slipped into running shoes and hit the pavement, pushing myself through the streets. My breath misted in the cold air, and my muscles screamed in protest. But I didn't stop. I couldn't. Each footfall carried me closer to a future that wasn't bleak. The next night, I found myself standing by the city pond. The night was eerily quiet, save for the rustle of the wind in the trees. I shivered, the damp chilling me to the bone. Holding the tension in my chest, I waded into the water, its icy grip nearly making me cry out. But I persisted, each stroke through the murky depths bringing me closer to dawn, to safety. Completing the tasks, however, didn't ease my fears. It only intensified them. The mirror began showing not just a frail version of myself, but one trapped in scenarios that seemed ripped from nightmares. The abandoned clock tower loomed above me, dark and silent. I stood before it, the air filled with a palpable dread. My heart pounded, loud and frantic, and my hands were clammy with sweat. Each step inside echoed an ominous rhythm. I climbed higher and higher into the shadows towards whatever awaited at the top, and as I ascended, the feeling of being watched settled over me, like a breath on the back of my neck, a reminder that I was never really alone. The clock tower's silence wrapped around me as I climbed. Each step on the metal stairs rang hollow, a dull clang that seemed to mock my every move. My heart pounded, each beat a reminder of the stakes. At the top, a chill seeped through the air, heavy with anticipation. I took a breath, steadying myself, and pushed open the trapdoor. The night sky stretched vast above, stars blinking like distant eyes watching my every move. I scanned the room, a dusty relic of time forgotten. My skin prickled as I sensed an invisible tension in the air. The mirror had led me here. Now what? In the corner, something glinted faintly. Curiosity tugged at me. I moved closer, my footsteps disturbing the settled dust. It was another device, far older than the tech in my apartment. As I reached out, a shiver raced down my spine, a whisper of voices echoing around me. My grip tight on the device, I began piecing together its purpose. Notes scrawled in the margins of a tattered manual hinted at intentions shrouded in shadows, tests of endurance and mind, a game at the edge of tech and humanity. It was an experiment. I was its subject. Suddenly the device sparked to life, a light pulsing, casting eerie shadows. In it, I saw a glimpse of the mirror's creators, faces obscured, yet intent visible in every movement. They wanted to push limits, to see how far someone could go, how much fear could twist a person. I felt anger simmering beneath my skin. I put the device down, my resolve hardening. The image in the fitness mirror wasn't a prophecy, it was a manipulation. They'd created a nightmare, playing God with my fate. Enough was enough. My breaths came shallow and quick, filled with determination. In that haunting silence, I knew what had to be done. I descended the tower, the weight of the truth heavy on my shoulders, and returned home. Something had to change. It was time to face the mirror one last time. Back in the apartment, I stood before the mirror. I saw the reflection, older, worn, but I felt a strange resolve. This wasn't going to be my end. In one swift motion, I grasped the mirror's edges, pulling it from its mounts. Its cold surface chilled my fingers. With a burst of energy, I smashed it against the floor. The crash echoed, shards scattering like stars. Silence followed, a quiet that seemed more alive, as if holding its breath. A sense of freedom coursed through me, fierce and vivid. In the corner, a different light flickered, the reflection from another mirrored surface lurking in an unopened box. Yet even as it glinted, I knew I'd won this round, beaten this evil that sought to bind and twist my reality. The terror lingered, the unknown thirst for ruin, silent for now. Despite everything, I breathed easier. As morning light filtered through my window, painting soft patterns on the floor, I felt the chains of the mirror, the weight of its reflection, begin to lift. The battle wasn't over, but I was ready to face whatever more lay ahead, ready to forge my path against a future steeped in technology's menace. The reflection's warning serves as a dark reminder of technology's lurking danger. If you've enjoyed this journey into the unsettling, consider subscribing for more tales of dread and mystery. Join me, Professor Dreadmore, tomorrow as we delve once again into the unknown. Until then, keep your eyes wide open.